This is a pick a deck reading, and the question today is, who are you deep inside? And so it's best to go with the deck that caught your eye first. So the first reading would be Wisdom of the Oracle. The second reading will be the Aboriginal Dreamtime. The third, Mystical Journey Oracle, and the fourth one is the Shaman's Oracle. So it is best to go for the first one that sort of caught your eye to get the best results. Okay? All right, so you can use the timestamp below to get to your reading. Thank you. See you there. So this reading is for those of you that chose the first deck, the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. So let's see who you are deep inside. So the first card we have here is Breathe. So I think you've been searching for your inner self. This is probably a path you've been on for a while, looking for your inner light, through meditation or yoga or any type of inner work. It could even be emotional healing, quantum healing, anything that you've been kind of dabbling into, trying to find the answers you're looking for. So Spirit's saying they're there. Lots of times patience is needed. Sometimes we're given trials and tribulations, things that we need to work through before we can get to the place that we want to be. And I know sometimes with Spirit, there can be testing. You can be tested to see whether or not you're in a good place to be able to get the answers you're looking for, get to the place in your life that you want to be. I hope this is making sense. And so I think you're kind of going through that trial period, searching, but not finding the answers yet, which can be a little bit frustrating. That's for sure. But have patience. So use what you're learning to have the patience to get you where you need to go, and keep working on what you're working on. If you find you're working with something and it just doesn't seem to be working, either search for how to deepen that practice or start looking for other things that are similar. I wouldn't stray too far away from what it is you've been doing, because it does seem like you're doing the right things. It's just going to take time. I know the meditation teachers I've had for spiritual work, we were told that after about 10 years, you should be making some pretty good progress. Then you'll probably hit a plateau where you won't be able to seem to be doing anything. But after about 25 years, you should really be doing well to make spiritual progress. So we need a lot of patience because that's a long time for many of us. So yeah, so just have patience, okay? That's what's coming through really strongly. Okay, so the next card we have here is Building Blocks. And, this is very similar to the first card in that you are working on this. You have been doing the work that you need to do to find who you are deep inside. And I think you're getting close. So maybe you've hit the plateau. Maybe, you're being tested, you're going through trials and tribulations, but to get there, just keep holding on. It's like you're almost there to finding all the answers you're looking for. There is an emphasis here on looking within rather than without. And I'm picking up from all the different blocks that are sort of flying around this individual that perhaps in the past you have or even maybe still to this day, you have been looking at perhaps different religions, different New Age things, different practices to try to find the answers. And if you're looking in too many places, or you're doing the smorgasbord salad bar type of thing where I pick up a little bit here and I pick up a little bit there. I like this practice, but I don't like the whole everything that's involved in that one practice. Well, I'll pick up a little bit. Oh, I like that idea over here. You're kind of scattered, and so you can see she looks kind of pixelated, where she's not quite a solid form, and all the blocks are flying around because she's a little scattered. So if you're finding that this is something you're going through, you need to kind of focus. So take a look at what it is you've studied. Take a look at, you know, all the things you've been practicing. I'm so sorry, my cat is active right now. So sorry for all the noise in the background. Right, so you're kind of scattered, and you've been looking at different things. So look at what rang true for you. What practice, or what sorry, a million apologies for that. Okay, so which one had the most truth for you? Look at that closer, okay? It's best to sort of pick one belief system, one religion, however that fits for you, one practice that you have the most success with, or that resonates with you the most. Stick with that. If you don't like everything involved, find out why. Is it because you haven't experienced that for yourself, so you don't know it's true? Or is it sitting with you, it doesn't feel right, it feels like something's wrong? If it feels like something's wrong, then yes, keep looking for the right path. But if it's just something that, you haven't experienced that yourself, maybe you will in the future. Okay? So try to narrow your path. Try to follow one sort of spirituality, one sort of belief system that sits right with you, and at least make it your main practice, if not your sole practice. Okay? Like the one you do, the only one you do. But really try to start bringing those, the building blocks, bring them together so that you're not so scattered. Okay? But I mean, you, like, from the first card, you are on the right path. You're heading in the right direction. It's just going to take a little bit to get there. Okay, so the next card we have here is exchanging gifts. So I get here, and like in the previous cards, you're on your way, you're working towards something. It feels like you're waiting for sort of like a calling or a big epiphany to happen. And it doesn't always work that way. So like the cat in the picture here, I'll bring it closer. The cat in the picture, and if you're not familiar with cats, if they want your attention, they'll like gently paw at you a little bit. If you don't respond, they'll paw a little bit more. If you keep ignoring them, they'll start scratching and biting you. Some cats, not all. But so it could be that you're getting the gentle pawing, and so it might be a more of a gentle path, not suddenly, a Jack in the Box, sort of idea here where she's in the box, and then suddenly that epiphany, just boom, it's gonna just Jack in the Box pop out. Woohoo! Here we go. That's what I've been looking for. That's the calling I've been waiting for, like it's just going to suddenly spring out on you. It's going to be more like the cat, the gentle pawing, okay, that I'm trying to get your attention. You're on the right path. You're doing good. And it's going to be a slow build. And then one day you're going to kind of look back and realize, oh, hey, wait. Oh, I see what's happened here. I am where I want to be. This is what I've been looking for. I've been doing it the whole time without realizing it. So, that I think that is what's going on here. So give up the idea, expectations, generally in life, but especially with spiritual practices, tend to thwart us. We're expecting the jack in the box moment, boom, here it is. And when that doesn't happen, we keep feeling like we failed or we're failing. We haven't gotten there yet. Something's not right. However, that's not how it always happens, okay? It can for some people. And a lot of that would be inner work that's going on within them and they're not paying attention to it. And so it is a surprise, but you're paying attention. You've been doing the work, okay? So it's coming through gently, and accept that, okay? Watch out for expectations. They really can screw us up, make us really disappointed about things, and obscure our view, give us obstructions and hurdles we have to get over, right? Okay. Okay, so Spirit said to go on to the next card. Happy, happy. So this is where you're heading. And I think you're well on your way already. Where you're going to feel content. You're going to feel happy. You will be at a place where you know who you are. Because it's like you're already there, but I think perhaps the expectations that you've had, you don't know that you're there. I hope that makes sense, but I think you're already there. I think you already have a pretty good understanding of who you are. That you, and you can see in this picture, like her inner light is shining. You are a being of divine light. I mean, it's so clear in this card. And I think you're there. I think you realize and understand that you are a being of divine light, and you just need to kind of keep doing the work, meditating, whatever it is that you're doing, to get farther in touch with that you are a spiritual being of divine light deep inside, and you are connecting with that. So keep working on that to strengthen that, so that you can be that being more than not, right? Most of the people on the planet are walking around in their, as they call it, their meat suit, right? Our physical bodies, and get caught up in the physical side of life, the physicality of our bodies, of who we are, without looking at that more spiritual inner being that we truly are. And I think you've been working on that. And so you just need to keep getting in touch with that, so that you'll get to the place, that you're not that caught up in the physicality of life and the physical aspects of life. You will learn to let go of material things, material desires, because you're going to realize you're this being, divine being of light, and you can move away from the physical. Okay? Okay, and the last card that we have here is Blessed. And yeah, once you get to that point, and the more that you work on connecting with your inner light, who you truly are, the more content you will be in life, because you will drop a lot of those expectations, right? You're not going to be, again, like, you want to get rid of those material desires that really do not cause you happiness, because happiness is an emotion we feel within. There's nothing out there in the world that can make us happy. It's an emotion that we have to decide that we want to feel, and it's based on our own choice to be happy or not. And so you will feel more content, more happy in life. You will feel and receive blessings in your life, because you will be open to that, knowing that you are this divine being of light and how beautiful everything is, and not getting so caught up in the emotions and the physical side of life, and learning to sort of overcome anything that is harmful or hurtful. Okay, so Spirit said that's it for your reading. I hope this has been helpful. And again, apologies for my cat. Thank you so much for watching. So this reading is for those of you that chose the second deck, the Aboriginal Dreamtime Oracle cards. And so who are you deep inside? Let's take a look. So the first card we have here is Thirsty Earth. So what I'm seeing in the cards, I'll show you. So it almost looks like the tree is on the moon, and then we've got the dots inside the moon, which could, in a way represent the roots of the tree. So it seems to me there's a connection here with your ancestry. So the roots going deep within the moon. So there's ancestral connections here for you that will help you find who you are. And it's coming through very strongly. Spirit is saying strong ancestral connection. So if there's any way that you can look into that more to really discover who you are. So, for instance, there could be a trade or something that has been passed down through generations in your family. And with modern times, a lot of that has gotten lost. Many times children are not interested in what the parents do. They want to live their own life. And so some of that can be lost. And so you may not realize that there was this trade that was very strong in your family. And so if you start looking back into it, you may find what it is and realize, no, that's who you are. That's what you want to be doing with your life. So look into that. You can look through your genealogy. You can start, talking to your parents or your grandparents, aunts and uncles, whoever you think you can find that information from. You can also do DNA testing, if that's your thing, to find out where your ancestors came from, to give you more of an idea of the strengths and qualities that you carry within you. Any sort of ancestral work that you can do, it's strongly suggested here, okay? So the next card we have is Deep Listening. And so what I'm picking up from this card right away is, in the past, humans lived in much smaller communities. And so there were gatherings of people to sit around and have story time and to share what was going on in their lives. And a lot of that, again, is missing. There's a lot of online stuff. And sadly, with the online stuff, there are trolls and con artists and just straight up liars. And so it's difficult to know if you're actually connecting with good people or not. But when you're face to face in a circle talking, yes, you can still have people that will lie and do con artist work, and you know, but because it's face to face, there is um, more signs with the people gathered who can say, well, wait a minute, that's what you just said isn't true. I was there, or I saw you and that didn't happen. So there's more accountability. And so that's been lost. And that's something that it seems like you need in your life. And again, that could be connected with your ancestors. If you can, if you've got a good family and you can all get together and talk about family, talk about the past. If that's not possible, try to find a group that you can get together in person to share who you are as people, or what's going on in your life, or to share stories, because you need that connection, um, rather than separating yourself. It's very easy to just sit and look at a screen rather than turn the screens off and sit and actually be present, mindfully present with others. Okay. And I think that's something that would really benefit you. And Spirit is saying that's part of your inner calling. Okay. So please look into doing that in whatever way that's going to work out best for you. Okay. The next card we have here is Dreamtime Learning. So there is a feeling of getting somewhere, of going somewhere. I'll bring the card back up. So again, there's the dots, and they're smaller at the tail and they get larger as they get up towards the head of the snake or worm or whatever it is. I'll say snake. And so there is a feeling of baby steps, right? Small steps to get where you need to go. But as you're on this path of learning and discovering, you're going to grow stronger and more confident, and gain that inner power. Okay, and power is not um, harming others. Power is not trying to control others. That's just fake ego crap. To be honest, it it it, it the people in what they call positions of power, it's their ego. It feeds their ego, and it's actually extremely harmful for everyone involved, especially the person who claims to be in a position of power. Real power is the ability to help others, to ease others' suffering. And when you start to discover that through whatever gifts it is that you will find that you have through your ancestors, if you can use those gifts to benefit other people in some way, and that doesn't mean that you can't also benefit from it, you will. The more you work for others and try to ease their suffering and help them as you can, the more powerful you become internally. And it is a spiritual power, and it is an enlightening power, and it makes you feel really content and happy and blissful within. You don't get that from a fake position of power like we have in society today. That is just a complete ego feed, and it's wrong. Okay. But you will gain the correct, true inner power by working on that. I hope I made that clear. I hope that was easy to understand. Okay, so the next card we have here is Rebirth. And so again, with the dots, okay, from others into you. All right, so this is playing through in a number of ways. So from your ancestors comes into you, that power, those gifts, those talents, those abilities that may be hidden from you right now, and the strength of knowing who you are and where you come from, again, comes from the ancestors. and also from others. So people that you will be serving, that you will be helping, as in the card with the snake. Um, Again, that will internally benefit you. The more we help others, the better we get for it. So we may help many people, but we benefit more than all of those people from helping them. It's on a spiritual level, and so by helping others from others, it will build your internal strength and power in a good, positive way, not a negative way, not trying to control others, not trying to tell others what to do, but helping them with what they need. Okay? Okay, the next and last card we have is moon phases. So I get that you're going to end up in a place when you've done this work, because all the bubbles are inside the kangaroo. And again, it's the bubbling up of your spirit, your nature, your mind, your internal power. You will be sitting in a place that you're going to be very content and happy with after having done all of this work to get there. And I see you kind of looking back at, that's the path I took. This is exactly where I am supposed to be. I took the right steps to get here. And I think you're going to be in a really good place from that. Okay, I hope that helped. Thank you so very much for watching. So this is for those of you that chose the third deck, the Mystical Journey Oracle deck. And who are you deep inside? Let's find out. So the first card we have here is Rebirth. So there's a feeling here of being broken. I'll pick the card up again. So, she's got all these, she's got a hole where her heart should be. She's got all these cracks in her skin. So there's a feeling here of having been broken, of perhaps you've sadly had some trauma in your life, maybe some abuse. And so there's a feeling here of needing to heal that, of wanting to get beyond that. Perhaps there's a bit of a struggle doing that. And I think because of that, hole or your heart missing kind of feeling, of your heart being broken in pieces, perhaps you're worried, of being able to find who you are deep inside, being able to find your purpose in life, of finding, what is the meaning to all this? Why have I had to go through this? And sadly, many of us go through trials and tribulations in life, have a hard time. I have myself. So, but these things can be used to help others. So that's something you might want to be looking in. Because of your experience and because of you getting where you are in life, you can sort of show others that, hey, if I can do it, you could do it too. So there is some of that to sort of look on. And it's karma ripening. I believe in past lives. And so the past lives we've had, we've engaged in negative karma. We've done negative actions. Karma and action are the same. They mean the exact same thing. They're like the same word, just, spoken differently. So yeah, we've done negative karma. We've done negative actions in our past lives. And so this has ripened on us in this life. And it's not easy, that's for sure, but we can work through it. So if you're able to get healing, quantum healing maybe, or if you need to go see a psychologist or whatever feels best for you, then go look into that and keep trying to heal yourself. And a lot of times healing yourself means being able to let go of that which causes us harm. And a lot of people, and it's really big for some reason in movies and television, of how important family is. Well, if your family is abusing you, that you don't owe them anything. You get out. It no, make your own family. All right. You don't have to continue to be abused. Eh, it's very dangerous. It's great if you have a wonderful, beautiful family. I really don't know anybody who does, but if if you do, then or maybe if it's just small irritations in the family or small things, then you can work through it. But if you've got real trauma and abuse going on in the family, get out. You don't have to stay with them just because they're family. Okay, so um, yeah, get away from that which hurts you, which causes you harm. Okay, break free. Try to break out of cycles and patterns. It's certainly not easy, but you need to do that for your own protection, your own safety. Okay. All right, so the next card we have here is shadow work. So here again, because it does so far, it seems like a lot of healing needs to be done. And so with this card, I am getting that we have to pay attention to our own behaviors. If you were raised in your childhood, and if you suffered from abuse, trauma in your childhood, that is going to affect how you behave and who you interact with as an adult. And we tend to look for partners. Sadly, we are attracted to partners who sort of carry around the same energy that our parents, our families had when we were growing up. So we are attracted to people that fit that family dynamic. Well, I think part of that is because we're hoping, because they fit the family dynamic, because they have sort of the same abuse issues or trauma issues that we have, even though we may not realize that until we get farther involved with them. But like on a subconscious level or a chemical level or whatever, you know, we pick up on that, and that's why we're attracted to them. It's like we think, well, we'll make it work this time, but we can't, because they're stuck in the same place that our family, our parents were, and unless they are actively working to heal themselves, it's going to end up disastrous. So like I was saying, I grew up sadly in an abusive, traumatic family, and I have learned I cannot trust my heart. A lot of people say, oh, your heart should rule your head when it comes to love, but no, because our heart will be attracted to that which we grew up with, because that's the type of love we received as children, which is just dangerous and will continue. I found in my life, it got worse with every partner. I seemed to pick a worse person every time. So we need to take a look at what it is we're doing and trust your gut more. Trust your gut over your heart. If your gut feels wrong, things don't feel right, you don't trust what they're saying, you don't trust how they're behaving, go with that, okay? It's gonna hurt, but the pain of not being with someone that you're attracted to, that you feel like you're in love with, um, yeah, it's gonna hurt, but it's not gonna hurt nearly as long as if you were to get involved with them, okay? And so we need to kind of look at where are the mistakes that we're making because we wanted this perfect, wonderful love in our childhood that we didn't get. And so we're kind of looking for it now as an adult. We need to work through it, find out, okay, what mistakes am I making? What sort of trauma or abuse cycles am I caught in, not even realizing? And, so not that we may not be causing the abuse cycle, but we still feel like we need to be part of it. So that's stuff we have to look at. We have to look at ourselves and what do we need to fix in us in order to move forward, in order to completely heal. Okay, it's not always the other person's fault. Yes, our parents were at fault if they were abusing us or caused trauma to us because we were just a child and we were innocent and defenseless. But now as an adult, anything that you engage in is your own choice, and we can keep the cycles going not being aware of it. And this is saying it's time to sit down and get aware, pay attention. Who am I choosing? Because a lot of times in the shelters, women's shelters and things, I'm just saying that many times it's the same women coming back and back because they've just picked another relationship that was the same as the one they had previously, and it's because they need to do the inner work. Okay. All right. So the next card we have here is Cycles of Life. So this is showing that, once you've engaged in this work, once you've started doing the healing, the inner work, the taking a good hard look at who are you, what are you doing, how are you sabotaging yourself, clarity will come, things will get better, things are going to improve. Okay. And that when you get to this stage, and you will, okay, there will be times when you feel a lot more content in life, and you'll just have a better feeling. Then your hidden or inner talents will come through more. Who you are as a person will grow stronger. I'm also getting with the lit lines behind the head, right? So it's almost like neon lighting back there. That you'll be stronger in your setting your boundaries and keeping them and holding on to them and not allowing people to cross those boundaries, and having respect for yourself. So that is going to come in time, and when that comes, that's when you will start to do that inner work of discovering, who am I deep inside, because you have to heal this first, okay, to get there. Okay, so the next card we have here is Divine Gateway. So what's coming through here is, when you get through this, you will find that you are a cosmic being. You will see and understand and learn. And a lot of times, because of the trauma and abuses and things that we had to deal with as a child, gives us the strength, gives us the knowledge, the wisdom to make progress, spiritual progress, to improve ourselves, kind of like the phoenix, right, that rises up from the ashes. That this is what gives us the strength to do that. Many people who have, what I would say like a fairly easy life where, growing up in the family, sure, it's got issues, but there wasn't anything, really violent or traumatic going on. They kind of float through life rather easy, and they don't look deep within. They don't look for the answers to life and what is going on. And those people that, you know, have these sad childhoods and they're looking, searching so much. There's got to be meaning to this. There has to be more to this. And so that's how, you can get to this place. You do the healing, work through self, feel good, set your boundaries, you're doing well, and now you can really dive deeply and find out who you are, that you are one with everything, that you are a cosmic being. And I think you will get these wonderful spiritual, I guess you'd call them manifestations or sorry, the word has attainments. There we go. Attainments, realizations, enlightenment. Okay. I think you will get there and you'll really see. I think you'll have a significant breakthrough to see who you ultimately are. So even just beyond this physical life that you seem to be trapped in, especially, working through all this negativity, that you can rise above that and find out who you are ultimately. And I think that's where you're heading. So that's wonderful. Okay, so the next card and last card here is Energy Shift, which, totally fits in with what we've been reading so far. And again, yeah, you'll get that shift from, because in the picture, right, we have the reflection. It could be a reflection. So upside down and has flames coming out that are sort of entrapping them, right? It goes around their head and it's entrapping them, the flames. So that's like the past where you were trapped in the flames, trapped in the pain, trapped in the abuse, trapped in the trauma. And then now and in the future, there's no flames, there's no entrapment. You are free and your energy has risen up. I hope that's making sense. You're getting that liberation, those realizations, that spiritual power that we all have within, but many people aren't even looking for it. You will start to incorporate that. It will become part of who you are, part of your being, part of your life, this wonderful lightness of being. Okay, that seems to be it for your reading. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so very much for watching. So this is for those of you that chose the fourth and last deck, the Shaman's Oracle. So who are you deep inside? Let's take a look. So the first card we have here is Hunter of Gifts. So with this, there's a feeling of the light shining upon you. Maybe you're seeing the light. Maybe you've had glimpses of who you are deep inside. And so there's a feeling here of kind of being split. So we can see the light is just blasting and shining. And the animal is heading into the light. But the person seems to sort of be standing there kind of hesitantly. That's what's coming through in this reading. So it feels like part of you is like, yes, this is who I am. This is where I want to go. This is what I want to do. And is all gung ho. Yep. I'm gonna do that. But another part of you is like, well, I'm not really sure. And I have other interests. And maybe the people around me are telling me, you shouldn't really do that, and oh, it's going to be difficult, and there's a lot of competition, and you might fail, and so there's part of you is hesitating, right? And so we have to be careful of that crab in the bucket mentality where there's a bunch of crabs that have been caught, trapped, put into a bucket, and one of the crabs is actually finding their way to climbing out of the bucket to get out, escape, and get free. But the other crabs underneath grab hold of him and pull him back down into the bucket so he can't get away. And so we need to kind of be aware of that. If you have people like that in your life that, kind of downplay everything you do, or are always like, oh, that's probably not going to work, or they're worriers. Oh, well, what about if this happens or that happens? So be aware of that and try to avoid it if you can. Um, Try to gain that inner light, that inner strength, and head towards the light. Head towards who it is that you feel you are, that you already sort of have this idea of who you want to be and what you want to do, and what's important, what's really important to you deep inside, and use that as your guiding light rather than the naysayers, the ones that might pull you down. Okay? Like, you can hear what they say, but it doesn't mean you have to take their advice. Okay? You can sort of, if they say, well, what about this? Then maybe you need to work out how to overcome it. All right? Okay, yeah, Spirit said move on. So the next card we have here is Ancestor of Tribes. And so I'm getting that this is it looks like a rabbit and he's asleep. It's a sleeping rabbit. So there is this inner strength, this inner knowledge within you that's sleeping, that maybe you haven't looked at fully and completely. Like I said, you have an idea of who you are and where you're going, but maybe the fullness, the full awareness, it hasn't come through yet. And so if there's a way that you can find how to awaken that in you. So, that can come through in a number of ways. You have to do what feels right for you, but perhaps meditation could help you. Perhaps actually getting into shamanic work might help you discover the parts of you that are asleep, the parts of you that need to wake up. um, you know, there's a number of different ways you can do it. Maybe taking classes, maybe, you feel like, oh, you want to follow this trade or this type of business or this type of art. Um, so take the classes to awaken that fully, okay? To awaken those abilities that you already have within you, okay? Yeah, so Spirit's saying move on. So the next card we have here is Hunter of Paths. So this looks like a little guy carrying a whip, trying to whip this. It might be a centaur. It kind of looks like a half human, half horse, but I'm not exactly sure. Okay, but there is I don't know if you can see. There's like a squiggly line, so it's like a barrier between them. So even if the little dude was to whip, it probably hit the barrier and won't actually hit the centaur or whatever that is. These are old cave drawings apparently. So yeah, it feels like part of you again, there's that split, where you're more than one kind of idea here. The part of you is trying to, whip your butt into shape. Let's get going. Let's get doing this. You already know where you want to go. You know what you want to be doing. You know who you are. But there's this barrier and this, again, this hesitation. So, yeah, what hobbies are you interested in? Did you, when you were a little kid, or teenager, growing up, was there something you wanted to pursue, but through schooling or the community, uh, your neighborhood, your parents, whatever, maybe something changed and you didn't actually look into it, you didn't pursue it, and so it maybe part of you kind of has given up, or oh, well, that's not practical, perhaps. I've got bills to pay. I need to be doing this and that and the other thing. No, I think maybe you might want to start looking, even if you just take night school or a weekend workshop or something that will give you a taste of what it is that you had thought you had wanted when you were younger. Because it does seem like you got, well, blocked, right, or distracted from what you originally had wanted. Like, woohoo, I'm going to do this. And it didn't happen for whatever, it can be a number of reasons. And so you're kind of cautiously, slowly lumbering through life, but you don't feel happy and energetic and woohoo, this is what I want. It's kind of like, I have to do this to pay the bills. I have to do this because of this or that or the other thing. And so I think there's a need to get in touch with what you had been really excited about in the past. And again, it could, take a weekend workshop or a night school course. Even if it's just something that you'll end up doing as a hobby, it could help you move into the right direction of where you want to be going and what you truly want to be doing. Okay, Spirit said to shut up and move on to the next card. So the next card we have here is Dancer of Inspiration. Yeah, I think by doing that, and it might not even be something from your childhood. It might just be something you kind of want to try, that you're really attracted to and want to engage in. Um, but you're going to get that light of inspiration, that lightness of being, that feeling like, yes, this is awesome. And again, even if it's something you do as a hobby, it may pan out later to be something more substantial in your life, and maybe bring in an earning, so you're not doing that dragging your butt around, just so you get this done because you got to pay the bills type of idea. And I think by looking, and if you're not sure, try different things that you find interesting until you find you, and you might be more than one thing that you find that you really, really enjoy and really gives you a reason to get up in the morning and feel inspired and good. And so keep working on that, and it will really help you get in touch with who you are and what it is you want in life. And again, like, just as an example, if you'd always wanted to be a dancer and you wanted to take dance and your parents are like, oh, we can't afford it, or you tried to go through schooling, but you end up, now you're a secretary or a personal assistant or whatever. Maybe you even work in the office of a theater or something, right? But you want to actually be dancing. So, you know, do what you can to get there, because I think when you find that, it will deepen your experience in life. It will deepen your connection to all of being, all of existence. It will strengthen your resolve as to who you are. And again, it can just be something you do in your house, and you don't have to have a career in it, but something that you do for you to make you feel a whole person, a complete, total person. And I think you have this hidden talent or talents and abilities, these gifts. And you need to sort of bring them out, let them shine. Okay? The light around their head, let them shine. Let you shine from within. Okay? So the next card we have here is Ancestry of Boundaries. Did I say ancestry or ancestor? Sorry. Ancestor of Boundaries? Sorry if I said that wrong. Okay, so there's a lot of speaking your truth coming through in this, okay? So it's that journey, that path to find who you are as a person, and then speaking your truth, being who you are, and not having any feelings of being ashamed that, I do this, and I hide it. You'll get to the place where you're like, no, you know what? I really like doing this, and there's no reason why, people shouldn't know about it. And so you'll be able to speak your truth. And I think you'll just feel so much more confident and competent. Even in other aspects of your life, you'll have more joy. And I think you might even inspire others to find their truth, their inner being, to try to find out, who they are, because there is so much more to us than what our schooling, what our society, our culture, many times lets us know. So there's so much more to us, and I think you're on your way to finding that. So don't be shy, and go ahead and indulge. If people say, "Oh, you're self-indulging or overindulging," you're finding out what it is that's going to give you joy in life, or going back to the things that gave you joy in life when you were younger. Absolutely, go ahead and do that. I have crayons. I still have crayons and coloring books because I loved that when I was a kid, and I still do it. So, I mean, I don't do it very often, but every once in a while. And I'm not embarrassed by that. I'm quite happy to do that. So yeah, don't worry about speaking your truth, and being who you are, allowing yourself to be who you truly are. Yeah, kind of like stop hiding your light under a bushel, right? Under a barrel or whatever. Okay, so Spirit said that's it. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so very much for watching.